The Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog has got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code HGP. Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Not joining me today is the one and only Joel Meyer. He's in the hospital. He's had some issues there, but joining me today is a guest we've had on once, maybe twice before in recent weeks. Is Sean? You might recognize him as Archer from the Discord, from the Slack days. How we doing, Arch? Thanks for joining me here.
Doing good. I was never there in the Slack days, though. Not an OG. But
Were you not? I thought you were BBC back then.
Nope, that was still Discord.
That was still Discord. Okay, well, I guess I lied then. Starting off the show,
It's
with a
not a
lie
good
here. But yeah,
doing good. Repping the merch for the HGP.
Yeah, the
Doing
SGPN merch Hockey Game Podcast, and I believe we don't have a discount going on right now, but hit me up and I'll get you a deal there. You can look as good as Arch does here in that nice blue hoodie there. It's been a while for us. I went overseas for a week, and then I was jet lagged for a week, and then Joel was away. We told Joel, like, all right, get ready for the season, start heating up, and he got a little bit, he took that a little bit too early. He's heating up. He was fanning the Flames, and he's got a little bit too close there. So we will be discussing the Calgary Flames in the team previews here, but hopefully all the best to Joel here. Got a PBR here for him in his honor. I believe he will be showing up in the chat possibly. So
and
shout out
Joel. Wine for him too.
Yeah, shout out Joel. Hopefully you have quick healing there, and we'll be back to things next week. But we're gonna roll along here with team previews. Got the Flames, Senators, and Wild on tap. But before that, make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Game Podcast on Spotify and Apple. And Joel, if Joel was here, he'd be yelling at you to leave us a 5-star rating and review, which looks like we got a 5-star rating and review on August 30th from JestingArcher himself. So we'll read that at the end of the show. But yeah, get those 5-star rating and reviews here in. Going to be a big season 3, season 4 of the Hockey Game Podcast coming up on 500 episodes here. So it should be a good time there. Also subscribe on YouTube, Hockey Game Podcast, and on Twitter at Hockey SGPN. And of course, in the Discord, just search for it, Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and we will get to you in there. All right. What's been going on in the hockey world the past 3 weeks? I've been up in the clouds, even higher than normal, flying and whatnot. And you've been in the weeds. You've been listening to team podcasts. We got player futures at the end of this show. You can just go throw them my way. What are you most excited about for this season? What have you seen over recent weeks that you're really heavy on?
So I think a big theme is the excitement for the Olympics, of course. A lot of players are motivated to go play for their countries. You're seeing that. I think you're seeing a lot of players play early in the preseason too. I saw Benner playing the other night. You got a lot of the star players.
I think the Leafs had their whole lineup last night.
Yeah, they're ready to play. I think I've seen the Kings lineup tonight. They were playing almost all their starters for their preseason, for Kopitar's last preseason game. They're fired up to play. A lot of people are fired up to play, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Kopitar announced he's going to be retiring after this season. That happened while we were on hiatus there. Trying to think of going on the top Reddit posts of the past month. Is there anything else? Marc-Andre Fleury is coming back for one period on Saturday, and the Penguins are just selling tickets for $500. Just a complete shit show there in Pittsburgh. Just money grabbing. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of merch, Marc-Andre Fleury merch. Good for him going back to Pittsburgh, but come on.
It's like that 1-day retirement contract in the NFL they have.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. It's a thing. It's just a ceremony. Now he's going back and playing, which I guess is kind of cool. But I gotta be a Penguins hater, and
I understand.
I learned to like Marc-Andre Fleury when he was in Vegas, when he was in Minnesota. Now I got to go back to hating him for one day there on Saturday. Other big news is Kirill Kaprizov. Apparently he did or didn't ask for his trade list, depending on which reports you listen to. Obviously, Connor McDavid also still not signed. Luke Hughes, a restricted free agent, not signed, not in camp for the Devils. That's going to be one to watch for there. So there's been a bunch going on and a bunch to cover here as we go. 2 weeks away from the season starting?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks, just under actually. I think 13 days.
Yeah, I think it's because it starts on a Tuesday, right?
The 7th.
3 games on the 7th. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be bunch of coverage leading up to that. And of course, the SGPN app is your easy access to all our free picks and props. Download it in the App Store, wherever you get your app there. All right, let's just get right into things here, starting with the Calgary Flames. Last season, I mean, I think this Flames had to be viewed as a success last season. They had Dustin Wolf obviously come in and finish second in the Calder voting, I believe, behind Lane Hudson, or may have finished third behind Celebrini as well.
Oh, the second. You're good, though.
Well, the second, all right. Their over-under was 80.5 points. Blew past that with 96 points. But, like, looking at their roster, like, Kadri, 67 points, led the team. Huberdeau, 62. And the next forward was Matthew Coronado with 47. There's just, like, there's not a lot there that really excites you about the Flames. But, I mean, Dustin Wolf, 910 save percentage. Dan Vladar was a fine backup at 898. And, you know, they were in the hunt till, I think, like the final days of the season.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
They missed the playoffs, I think, just by a point or two.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I've been one of the podcasts I've been listening to is Locked In Podcast, and they do like a game night. They preview one whole team with like 3 different people on one of the team hosts. And the Calgary person, Jess, I think it's Belmosto, that covers the Flames. You know, to get a good idea of the team is, as she explained it, at least, that ownership really just wants to be competitive enough to put seats in the stadium and, you know, make money, of course. Mm-hmm. They're not really too worried about, you know, being a Stanley Cup contender, but really being good enough to win. Mm-hmm. Maybe make it to the dance. Nothing too crazy. A lot of batting 500, if you will. Mm-hmm. Trying to get to that. So I think a lot of the moves make sense in that kind of capacity. Like, for instance, the Dustin Wolf extension, I think it was 7 by 7.5.
7.5, yeah.
Which is pretty long for a goaltender with one really good season.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's all he has. Like, and the goalies are weird. The goalie I would not be shocked if he goes back to the AHL this season. Like, he could just completely bottom out, not find his game, and need something like that.
But, you know, you hear a lot of comments that players have made in the past that, you know, not a lot of people really want to play in Calgary. And he said it, I think it was in Vegas to Friedman, that he really wanted to stay in Calgary. So I think it was good business for them. I originally didn't like the contract. I think they made some pretty good business decisions this offseason for sure. Yeah, nothing too exciting, of course. They're not an exciting team, but enough to say, like,
yeah, they're going to be on the playoff bubble. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. You know, maybe they'll be competitive pretty much all season long. But I guess the question is really, like, should they be competitive? Like, should they not try to rebuild around Wolf? Like, they got Nazem Kadri, who could be traded. He has a no move clause.
Yeah.
Rasmus Anderson is going into the last year of his deal.
From what I've been hearing, he's saying he wants to go to Vegas.
Well,
you know?
everyone, who doesn't want to go to Vegas nowadays? And Michael Backlund, their captain, came out and said, yeah, Anderson's getting traded. Like, it's just a matter of who and when. So, But yeah, they got Huberdeau locked up 10.5, Kadri at $7 million, Coronado at 6.5, Sharon Govich at 5.7, Joel Farabee, former Flyer, at $5 million. Like, they got just these middling guys, and it feels like if they could trade a few of them for some younger pieces, it could help. But like you said, you know, from that team insight there, they just wanted to put butts in the seats, keep them competitive, and not go through that rebuild, which makes sense as an owner. As an owner, their goal is to make money, and if they're doing that, they're going to keep on doing what they're doing. As for the offseason, really did nothing. Lost Anthony Mantha, lost Dan Vladar, brought in Ivan Prosvetov there as potentially the backup to Dustin Wolf, but that was pretty much it for the Flames offseason.
Yeah, it's not exciting, but it's just enough to probably stay around that 500 mark. It's hard. They're such a weird team.
Yeah, so going into this coming season here, let me pull up their odds. I made a spreadsheet, not quite the graphic I had for previous shows, but at the Flames, they had 96 points last season. Now they're down to 82 and a half on DraftKings, over -125, under -105 to make the playoffs plus 270, miss the playoffs minus 350, win the division 40-1, and win the cup is 100-1. Like you look at this team, they didn't do a lot. You look at their lines, you're like, okay, not very exciting at all. But like 82 and a half points seems reasonable for a team that got 96 last year.
Oh, exactly. It's definitely calmed down a lot for them, or it's kind of moved a little bit in their favor, is what I mean. It's just like, it's hard not to want to take it, but at the same time, it's like, if they're going to trade off some of these assets, like, they have some players to refill, like Zane Parekh, hopefully Matt Coronado takes another step, but it's like, is it enough to really get them over the hump to the playoffs? I'm not quite sure, but enough maybe to go over the point total, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, like 82 and a half points. How many 22 teams had 85 or more points. 23rd team was the Islanders with 82. Like, a lot of teams with the loser points can easily get to 82 points in 82 games. But yeah, looking at their division, it's going to be tough because you got the Knights, the Kings, the Oilers still. The Canucks should be better. Possibly the Ducks should be better. The Kraken, who really knows what they're doing? They can beat up on the Sharks, but like, I feel like even last year, the Ducks had 80 points. It felt like they were out of it for so long. Like 82 and a half seems like something that they could get to. And when I was doing, my 10 minutes of prep for this show, I did see Flames to get 90 plus points at plus 250, which does seem interesting given the fact that they had 96 points last season. And last year, 18 teams had 90 points. Yeah. So at plus 250, I don't like plus 270 to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but 20 cents less to get those 90 points, only, 6 points fewer than last year. I could see it. It's just the Flames backup goalie situation. Devin Cooley is here listed on Daily Faceoff. And yeah, if Dustin Wolf falters or gets hurt, they got Prosvetov, they got Cooley, they just could completely bottom out.
Yeah, that'd be my thought too. If their goaltending's terrible, they probably just don't have a chance. Like, plain and simple. I have a little bit of a sneak peek pick, but for Calder, Zane Parekh, 20-1. He's taking some power play 1 in practice lines right now. So if he stays on the power play 1 for the whole year and Anderson's gone, he's gonna get a lot of ice time, and that could be a huge boon for them, offensively at least.
Yeah, he's one of those Calder guys at 20-1 that could be in the mix there. Schaefer at 20-1 as well. We're already seeing the narrative around Schaefer. There's being puff pieces written about him, like Matt Barzell's going off about him.
Chased down your boy Michikov.
He chased down Michikov on a back check there, I think, in overtime, and Parekh, if he has that power play time, he can put up a ton of points as he did in juniors, I believe. But I mean, Demidov, the Canadians played the Flyers last night. Flyers traveled the day of, didn't really have their full team, but the Canadians look good. Canadians look good there. But plus 185, I don't know if he should be that short. And
so many names
at this point, like, your money is going to be tied up for 6-7 months. You want to have a longer shot. So, Parekh could be decent there at 20-1. But yeah, I've been, trying to find the one bet per team. So what is my bet going to be for the Flames? It might end up being that 90 points at a plus 250. Do you have any other potential player stuff for them? I don't
really... I actually do.
Do you?
So I have Coronado 30 goals plus 225. I think that's a pretty good bet. Is that
on DraftKings?
Yep.
All right.
He's around that.
So let me pull up. Can you explain why? Can you explain why you got him there while I do some research?
Yeah. Let me just double check what he had last year, but I'm pretty sure he was very close.
24 last year in 74 games. Shot 13.3% for Matt Coronado.
Yeah, but I think he's a young player. As he gets more into it, as he plays this season, I think he can be that 30-goal scorer for them for sure. I mean, they need it outside of Kadri. I mean, and Huberdeau, I think, did last year, but you need that around that 30-goal scorer. I think he can be that for sure. If he's playing the first line especially, he's going to have the time. Gotta trust it. It's it's 225. It's nothing too crazy. I don't stake a lot on that. I'm more interested in Zane Parekh, but I think for just a fun player plot, I have Coronado.
Yeah, if you're a Flames fan, I guess that you could go worse than that. But like he 24 goals last year. Year before in the AHL had 15 goals in 41 games. In college, he maxed out at 20 in 34 games. Had 48 goals in 51 games in the USHL before his draft year there. So maybe he can get back to that. But yeah, I think if you're going for a player thing, it's going to be Parekh there at 20-1. But let me pull up the every bet per team bet for every team here. Joel is going to get to them when he gets back next week, but I am going to do 90. I want to fade the Flames, but I'll do 90 plus points at plus 250.
Right.
I'm just putting 1 unit on that. I'm not too confident in the Flames whatsoever. Like, one thing I did want to mention is if they do bottom out, do you think there's a chance that they get the least points? Like if Wolf gets hurt and they have to turn to whatever their goalies are there, 25-1 for the worst record. Like, I don't know if I throw like half a unit on that instead.
So the way I see that is I just don't think it's very likely, even if they don't have good goaltending. Like realistically speaking, going from 96 points to below 70 is crazy enough. Like, I mean, the Predators did it, but it's a lot for them to go year over year.
That's true. And you still have the Sharks, you still have the Blackhawks being so shit that are hard to beat there at plus 200 and plus.
And then you have the Penguins too, who really could absolutely bottom out.
The Penguins know how to tank for a generational talent. We've seen that multiple times. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Flames, 90 plus points, plus 250 just for 1 unit, just a small bet there. We'll see what happens there. Not too confident in the Flames. Okay, before we go over to the Senators, we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you're getting some of the best prices in the market. It's available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Okay, staying in Canada here, but going over from Calgary to Ottawa, we have the Senators. Last year, the Senators made the playoffs for the first time in quite some time. I'm not sure exactly the last time they made the playoffs before that, but over-under was 90.5 points. 90.5. They had 97 points. Tim Stützle, 79 points. Batherson, 68, took a big step forward. Jake Sanderson, 57 points. Kachuk, Giroux, Jabot, Pinto. They traded for Dylan Cousins at the deadline. He had 16 points in 21 games. He fit in pretty well there. And Linus Ullmark, 909 save percentage. Forsberg, 901. Merrilainen, 925 in a short time. So I feel like last year had to be a successful season for the Senators.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the story for their season is just building a good culture finally. Like, just getting some guys in the room that have won, and not even just one, just good players that want to win and be there. Like, obviously, Ullmark is a big ad. He was there for that Bruins team. Shameless plug there. And then, they brought in, I think it was, what's his name? I think he played for David Perron. Yep, another one who's been on good teams before. I think they just recently brought in Michael Amadio. They brought some guys in. And I think they just taken good steps forward as a team as a whole, because they've been just – you have that 1 year where I think it was 2 years ago now, they finished with like 74. And then I think last year they finished with 96. Yeah. It's a big step forward for them, in terms of development. Stützle's developed a lot better of a two-way game, at least on 5-on-5. They took him off the penalty kill, which he wasn't bad at, but they're trying to have him focus more on the offensive side of things. not kind of like overextending him too much. I think that Dylan Cousins trade is a great trade for them too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, another shutdown center, just not down the middle. Having Pinto there too as well helps.
Yeah, they got great depth. Stützle, Cousins, Pinto there down the middle. Brought in Lars Eller. He's a decent enough 4C at this point in his career. Offseason wasn't too active. Lost Gaudette, Highmore, Cruikshank, Dennis Gilbert, Cole Reinhardt, and Anton Forsberg. Brought in Lars Eller, Arthur Kaliev, Ali Lixell, Jordan Spence, and Hunter Shepard. So no real big names there. I guess the biggest thing is going to be Anton Forsberg leaving the team, but I did mention Levi Merilainen was a pretty good backup there for Omark last year, so he should be able to step in to that role there. And last year was good. 97 points, made the playoffs. They played the Leafs in the first round. Gave the Leafs a decent scare, I think, to some extent there with Brady Tkachuk making his playoff debut. But
it's usually that that playoff stinker they get.
Yeah. But I just don't know if they have enough to do anything. Like, looking at their lines here, great top line to Tkachuk, Stützle, and Giroux. If Giroux can keep it up as he ages even more, but then Perron, Cousins, Zetterlund, our boy Fabian Zetterlund there, as longtime listeners know there. Greg Pinto, like, they have decent depth, but besides Tkachuk and Stützle, they don't have anyone that I really trust to put the puck in the net.
Mm-hmm. I like their. I like their depth personally. I think Pinto and Greg will take more steps forward. I mean, these guys. They have a decent amount of guys that can put up 20 goals in a year. I mean, I know Zetterlund has in the past for the Sharks. I think Greg was pretty close last year or in the year before. Pinto was one. Dylan Cousins is a pretty good center. At least he's a good second line center for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could do worse.
Yeah.
Where's Drake Batherson? Oh yeah, he's day-to-day right now. That's right.
Okay, so put Batherson in there. I forgot about Batherson. Put him in there on the second line instead. That even just add to their depth even more. And their blue line. I mean, Sanderson and Shabbat, like, being able to be on different pairs, I think is huge for them.
Yeah, maybe they could get Yakimchuk in there too. You never know, but probably not. But he would also be another good ad for them, at least in that top six.
Yeah. Yakimchuk is big body. He'll probably be a good body on. I think he's left-handed though, right? So he'd probably have to play on the left side. Maybe he comes in late in the season, like exactly. We saw last year with Nikishin and Demidov and those guys joining the teams late. Going into this next season, point total very much kind of the same as last year. They had 97 last year. They're at 95.5 on DraftKings, over -110, under -120, -200 to make the playoffs, +160 to miss, 8-1 for the division, and 30-1 for the Stanley Cup there. I don't know. Like, I want these Canadian teams to be good. Like, I like making fun of them for no one winning the Cup in the past 30 years, but hockey's better when the Canadian teams are good. I hate to say it, but it's
their culture is just amazing. I mean, you just see the Bell Center. The Canadians, not to bring up the Canadians for Cole, but just that culture. You get to see it game one, how excited, or technically game three, but game one for their home series, how excited they were. I mean, even the Senators just excited.
But it's a tough division. Like, you got the Leafs, you got the Lightning, you got the Panthers. They're going to be 3 teams that make the playoffs.
Sabres might.
Sabres aren't making the playoffs. You got the Canadians, pushing forward. The Red Wings are still trying. You got your Bruins too. Like, the Bruins could just be a sleeping giant with Swayman and Pasternak. I watched some of that NHL Face-Off show on Amazon Prime over the break, and there was an episode on Pasternak, there was an episode on Swayman. So really kind of got a soft spot for those guys now. And I mean, they're going to be better than 76 points unless they are like, all right, bad start, let's trade some people, let's go for McKenna. But I don't think that's in the Bruins.
No, I don't. Not at all. They're too prideful.
Yeah. So we got Adam in the chat saying there's a value on missed playoffs at +160, and I think I have to agree. Like, I feel like last year was a good step for the Sens, but it's tough for these teams that don't have game-breaking talent to go like, all right, take a step and then take the next step that next year. Sometimes you got to take a step back to take a step forward, and I think the Sens could be one of those teams.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm a big Timmy Stützle guy. Little unknown fact, but He's a game breaker. I mean, yeah, he had a down year last year for sure, 78 points, but 2 years ago he had 90. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the talent. I mean, Brady Tkachuk, he loves throwing the puck net. He's always got like 350, some crazy amount of shots on goal every year. But between those two, it's hard to really want to fade them, for me at least. I mean, you have Jake Sanderson, who's still good. Shabbat, I mean, he's always injured, but I just think they have a high enough floor where I just think I really like the division price. I think I'm really been looking at that last couple of days.
The division price, I feel like we discussed that earlier in the offseason. I feel like that's come down 90. A lot. Is that accurate, you feel like?
I think it was like 9 or 10 to 1, something like that. It's come down a little bit.
Yeah, let me see what the best price is on the market for it. Plus 850. So 8 to 1 is not bad there for the Sens. They're as short as plus 750. So, small range of odds there. But yeah, we see the Panthers, kind of just glide into the playoffs. They don't mind playing on the road. Maybe the Leafs take a page out of that book this year, and the Sens,
even Tampa too could.
They'll put I still think the Canadians are probably a better look for that at 18 to 1. But yeah, 8 to 1 for the Sens. I just think that you can probably get that in season at some point, or if not a better price in season once you see how it's going.
Unless they start really hot, like just insane, and they just take over.
Yeah, that's true there. But yeah, I think it's interesting. Makes playoffs is minus 200, but over 95.5 points is only minus 110. And
yeah,
that's really usually like the playoff line, if not lower than that.
Yeah. At least the wild card's usually around 90, and the first wild card's around that 95.5. So
yeah, that's true. The Canadians had 91 points and made the playoffs last year. Same thing as the Devils. So there's some leeway there.
No, the Rangers are the same price too right now are a point total at least. I was looking
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Are there any player awards, player props worth looking at with the Senators? I guess maybe looking at the Vezina, but I feel like Allmark's going to probably be way too low.
I saw 51 on a different book. I think it was like FanDuel. So I mean, that's kind of a worthy price.
30 to 1 here on DraftKings if you want to do that for my my best bet for the team. But 50 to 1 is out there for Allmark, which isn't horrible. He's won it before. Decent defense in front of him with Sanderson and Shabbat.
Yeah, Travis Green has really turned around that whole defense for sure.
Travis Green is 25 to 1 for Jack Adams, so you're getting double that for the Vezina there. Maybe a Norris look potentially. The Norris just feels like it's Makar or Hughes or
easily. Or if you're lucky, Bouchard just gets like a crazy amount of points.
I feel like Bouchard's reputation he would have to get a crazy amount because his defensive reputation. Yeah, it would have to be like a Carlson 100 points.
Yeah, exactly. Like
crazy like that.
For me, I mean, I bet some Timmy Stützle to have 90 points at plus 280. I mean, he's had it before.
He did it. Yeah, he's done it before.
It's not crazy. I always saw a little bit on Brady Tkachuk, Rocket Richard at 150 to 1. He always just has a bunch of shots on goal. So if he just has a lucky year, maybe it's like 50. But nothing too crazy. Outside of Ullmark, maybe Vezina. But I've been kind of looking at the President's Trophy, a little bit of the division price. I feel like, if those three teams, because I don't think they're poised to really do much in the playoffs. I think they're really, if anything, they're poised to have a great regular season if they do. I don't really see them going too far below 90 points. I think they just have a high enough floor with the veterans they brought in too.
Yeah, but I feel like if they win the division, then they get an easy matchup in the first round. So at that point, the Stanley Cup I think is way too short at 30 to 1. Like I feel like you can get longer than that
in the East, truthfully, but that's just my opinion.
It's always going to be that, unless the Devils can somehow get some big bodies and get some people that can play in the playoffs. But yeah, Rocket Richard, Brady, 150 to 1. Not going to say anything bad about a bet that long at this point for somebody that is motivated. Definitely going to want to have a good season going into the Olympics, as you mentioned at the top of the show. So that could be one to look for. Sanderson 100 to 1 for Norris. Shabbat I think is 500 to 1. Like I don't know if they actually have a chance, but those are just two fun long bets there. I don't think they have any rookies for the Calder there. So
I'd be like Yakimchuk if he somehow makes it. But.
Yeah. What's Brady for the Hart? Brady for the Hart is 500 to 1. So if you like Rocket Richard at 150, you gotta love the Hart Trophy at 500 to 1.
Yeah, I also took some Stimmy Stew, but that's just my personal love affair with Stusla.
Yeah, 500 to 1 there as well. Tage Thompson 500 to 1 too. He had a bunch of goals. So yeah, always fun to sprinkle. Put $1 on a few 500 to 1s, and
yeah, exactly.
You never know what comes through there.
Little donation.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So my best bet for the Senators is going to be miss the playoffs at plus 160. And throw 2 units on that. I feel like I'm fairly confident. I would like them to do well, my boy Claude Giroux up there, but I feel like the Atlantic is just a bit too tough. And I think the Metro could potentially take one of those wild cards this season with one of those teams coming out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else here on the Sens before we throw it to a break?
Nope. You can go.
All right. Well, I before I go to a break, I just want to shout out this chat from Smitty. He says, "Arch, now is your time to get up and grab a beer and slam your fridge shut in honor of Joel." So while I read our ads here, maybe we'll see if Arch does that this time. We're brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is also a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Available for a ton of sports. Also got the NHL Best Puck going on. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SGPN. And of course, you got Rhythm. Rhythm is off to a great start in college football and the NFL. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, Archie is refilled here. I'm going to move along to our final team, the Minnesota Wild. Last year, Wild made the playoffs, right? They made the playoffs last year.
Yep.
Even with Kaprizov missing half the year, even with Gustafsson missing some time, Wild made the playoffs. Looking at their season, they had 97 points. Their over-under was 93.5, so they went over last year. Looking at their players, Matt Boldy, big breakout year, 73 points. Marco Rossi, 60 points. He finally got signed there. Kaprizov, 25 goals, 56 points in half a season. That's insane stuff there. Matt Zuccarello still putting up 54 points at an age 37 season there, I see. And then, Gustafsson, 914 save percentage. Marc-Andre Fleury was a decent backup. So, I feel like that last year was a positive season for the Wild. And, they got healthy for the playoffs and really almost won that series.
Yeah, they definitely took it to the Vegas Golden Knights. I'd say it's a little bit of a success. I mean, Kaprizov getting injured doesn't really make it feel like a success at some points during the season. It kind of just felt like they were trotting on at some points because they dealt with a lot of injuries. They had, I think, Joel Eriksson Ek at some point was missing some time. A lot of the defensemen, kind of blanking on some names, I'll be honest.
Spurgeon missed 16 games.
Brodin, I think, did.
Middleton missed 15 games. Brodin missed 30 games. Yeah, a bunch of injuries for the Wild.
And for them to make playoffs, though, is pretty crazy, honestly. Dealing with all those players missing some at various points, those are some pretty important players. So definitely a success. It just didn't feel like it. At some points, they kind of like trotting on here and there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the cap hit loss to injury that Joel likes to bring up all the time because it had to be a lot last year for the Wild. There, a quick Google search is not finding it, but yeah, Kaprizov, a bunch of guys missed a bunch of time, and they still made the playoffs. Gustafsson was still strong there. Looking at the offseason, they lost Fleury, Justin Brazeau, Devin Shore, Brendan Gaunce, Travis Boyd, John Merrill, and Declan Chisholm. So not really major pieces there. Brought in Vladimir Tarasenko, Nico Sturm, Nicholas Aubé-Kubel, and Matt Kiersted. So not really many big names there. I guess Tarasenko can maybe be a second, third line scoring winger for them.
Just something.
Add some depth. A Russian friend for Kaprizov to see if he can convince him to sign there with the Wild. Looking ahead at this coming season, over under is at 95.5, over at -110, under at -120. Minus 150 to make the playoffs. I feel like that's come up quite a bit. Plus 120 to miss. You got plus 750 for the division and 40-1 for the Stanley Cup. How are you feeling about the Wild this year, Arch?
I would say I'm feeling fairly confident, more than people probably are, because of the Kaprizov situation. I was listening to Friedman's 32 Thoughts, and they had a pretty good conversation about it. And I think Connor McDavid and Kaprizov situations are kind of similar, actually. They're both 28, and if they're going to sign a long-term extension contract right now, it's the last big contract they're going to get. You know, you saw that big 8x16 that Kaprizov denied, and I can't blame him too much. You know, I don't remember who it was, if it was the GM or the owner that said we have an open checkbook. You know, it's probably one of the worst things you could say when you're trying to negotiate a contract like that. When the player is like, well, it's my last contract. You know, they're both 28.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to get every cent he can. I'm not 100% sold that he's leaving. I know I saw some pictures of him hanging out at the MSG with Igor and I think it was Adam Fox. Or, yeah, it was like a
Wasn't it not Panarin?
Yeah, it was no Panarin. No Panarin.
He's staying out of the spotlight, I guess, after last season.
Well, he's only got 1 year on his contract, too.
Yeah.
So it's another one. So it's an interesting situation for sure. I mean, let's be honest here. The whole season really let them die with Kaprizov, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought some guys in that can kind of generate some offense a little bit. Tarasenko a little bit on the back end of his career, more of a goal scorer only, not really a creator anymore. But ZBM coming in, he's gonna do something. He's been taking some power play one time, practicing a little bit. I think he's out right now. I think he took a puck to the hand or something crazy. I don't quite remember, but so there's some more offense coming to the Wild. They're a little bit short on centers, not the greatest depth, but it's not the worst. They definitely have a high enough floor. It's just what's going on with the Kaprizov situation. How is it going to go? How's it going to affect the locker room and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Joel and I have talked about the Wild a bunch in our teams we like, in our team point totals show we did before we did our team futures, because they made the playoffs last year, 97 points with all of those injuries that we mentioned. Now we got a motivated Kaprizov in a contract year. Marco Rossi looking to prove that he's not a 4C. Matt Boldy building off last year. Gustafsson can hopefully stay healthy. Their backup is going to be Jesper Wallstedt, who is a good young goalie there as well. Faber, another year. You mentioned Bouillon, Spurgeon. This is a good team. And, it's very easy to hate on the Wild. We love calling them the Wild. We love hating on the Wild. But they really proved us wrong last year. And getting minus 150 to make the playoffs, I just feel like it has to be the bet you take here.
It's difficult because they're in a really tough division, though, too. Just like the Senators. It's
tough. Jet Stars, Avs are all above them, but I feel like Minnesota is still above St. Louis. Utah, the Mammoth are making a push, but I still think the Wild are above them as long as they are a bit healthier than last year, and they were a ton beat up last year. Kaprizov was the Hart Trophy favorite before he got hurt in the first half. He is 8-1 for the Hart Trophy here on DraftKings, 6-1 for the Rocket Richard. I mean, looking at the stats since he entered the league, I just had it up. Like, he's like top 9 in goals since 2020. You got Matthews, Draisaitl, Pasternak, McDavid, Mikko, Ovi, Point, Reinhart, and Kaprizov.
I mean, based on age right now, behind McDavid, I think Kaprizov is easily the second most valuable to his team. Maybe Pasternak's right up there, just in terms of offense.
Yeah.
But it's like 1, 2, and 3 right there, basically.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised to see Braden Point up there. I think Braden Point does not get the credit he deserves.
No, absolutely not.
Not at all there, because Kucherov takes over. Yeah, Kaprizov, I hope he hits free agency. I feel like he'd love to come team up with Matvei Michkov in Philadelphia.
Yeah. No, he'd be going to New York. No way.
I could definitely see that as well. Yeah. Any other? I guess we can look at Zeke Bouillon for the Calder. He's at 16-1, right behind Misa and Demidov. You like that at all?
A little bit. I mean, I'm in the boat of anti-Demidov right now. I don't think he's been taking a lot of power play one time from what I've been seeing, but I'm taking everyone. But it's hard to take someone that's so short. Yeah. I think there's other bets that you could make on him that could also
I thought you would like people being short, given your stature.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not a giraffe. But
yeah, you can't bet plus 185 now. Like if he's taking off and has a huge lead, you can still get like probably minus 150.
The same price.
Like we got Bedard. Like Bedard, it's the same thing with Bedard. You got him like middle of the season, and he got hurt. You'd be able to get Faber in there for a long shot. Like it'll be so much easier, even like a month into the year, once you see which rookies are actually producing, getting time, and which are just like finding their legs.
Yeah, the only thing about Zeev is he's kind of taking like the third pairing defenseman spot, which is not ideal. But if he's taking power play 1, he could rack up the points as long as Kaprizov is there too. And so it's like it's hard. Well, I mean, there's definitely room for him to take over more time on ice as the season goes on. Mostly because, let's be honest here, a lot of the guys that ahead of him get injured often, like Brodin. So it's not too far fetched. You can get more time. It's just a matter of if he will or not. I mean, same thing with Lane. Last year. I mean, he didn't start off on power play 1. He was playing like maybe like third or second pairing. So it's kind of early. But I like the price.
Not a bad price there. You can't go wrong with something that long when you're looking at a market that settles in more than half a year there.
Yeah.
Looking at the Art Ross, Kaprizov is 12-1, which is interesting because only 8-1 for the Hart. Like I feel like getting 33% more for the most points could be worth it. It's tough to bet that though when you have Connor McDavid in the league in a contract year too.
I've got some thoughts about Connor. Let me tell you.
Yeah. All right. We're going longer than I thought. So let me just get to my my best bet for the Wild. I alluded to it. It's going to be make the playoffs here at minus 150. Putting the max 5 units lock 5-star flame emoji. Put all the emojis next to that. Minus 150 to make the playoffs there for the Wild. So that's minus 150 to make playoffs. Wild. Senators miss playoffs plus 162 units, and then Flames 90 plus points plus 250 for 1 unit. For my best bets for those 3 teams, we will get Joel's best bets next week. But we're going to close this out. Archie has been in the weeds, as I mentioned, going through these player futures. So I told him get some futures, throw them at me. Yep. I will do some research and react. So what do you got for me?
So speaking of Calder. Some Demidov. I mean, I bet him he's like I think on FanDuel around 58 points, but I bet him at plus 100, 60 points. And then I think for fun, I threw on a little bit for plus 550, 70 points. If he gets that, he's winning the Calder. But I think that's just a much better bet. If you really think he's gonna take off and be crazy, if you get 70 points, he's winning the Calder. But 550.
What's the odds for 60?
Plus 100.
Plus 100. So last year,
3 people had 60 points.
3 rookies had 60 points. Yeah. Hudson had 66. Michkov and Celebrini both had 63. So plus 100, even money. I feel like if he gets 60 points, though, he just wins the Calder. Like he lived up to expectations. I feel like I'd rather take the 2-1.
Well, yeah, but you also kind of take out the variance of like what could happen because you never know if someone could have a Lane Hudson year.
Yeah, I mean Schaefer could absolutely. So exactly. If you just want to just not have to worry about the competition.
With this shit.
Who's this Brian Meyer guy? Is that so Joel's cousin's out?
Yeah, you really no correct mentions finally in like the same second.
Well, you mentioned him before. I guess you tuned in late. I guess 60 points at even money. I wouldn't take. I'd rather take 2-1 for the Calder, but I can see the argument for it. I'm not gonna hate on that. Give me something I can hate on, Arch. Come on. Give me controversial.
You want something to hate on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Michkov 70 points plus 110.
Why would I hate on that? I would love that. 63 points last year. The power play was shit. John Tortorella hated him. He's 70 points plus 110.
Yep. I think it was on DraftKings.
I mean, that's the only one you have. So
yeah. Well, I go to Massachusetts sometimes for FanDuel. I have a couple more for McDavid, but I think for some one shots, I have some Eichel plus 1,000, Rantanen plus 110 points too. Also, I think Eichel's.
What's the Eichel bet you have?
110 points plus 1,000. And then
whatever. He has career high 94 last year. That I don't think that's going to happen.
And then I got some Rantanen 110 points plus 12-1.
12.
Those are for you to hate,
Yeah, I hate both of those. Like 100,
Yeah.
I know it's a high-scoring league nowadays. How many people had 110 points last year?
Not very many.
Let
But
me
if
look
you
it
go a
up. You
couple
had
years ago,
Kucherov and McKinnon. The year before, you had Kucherov, McKinnon, McDavid, Panarin, Pasta. No, 110 is just too much. If you want to do 100, if you
yeah.
want to do 90, that's fine. I just feel like 110, like take that guy for the heart instead.
But for I
Unless it's longer for the points.
just knocked off my feed. 1 second. But for ones that I actually really like for McDavid, because he said recently that he wants to go to a more.
Give me some like your. Oh, go ahead. You'll continue.
Yeah. So for McDavid, he said he wants to go to more shoot first mentality. He doesn't want us to be seen as he had a disappointing year by his own measures. He said, and he says he wants to go back to 50 goals, 50 to 60. He doesn't want it to be a one-time thing. I bet McDavid over 35.5. I'm looking at Rocket Richard 22-1, and honestly, shots on goal leader at 25-1. I think is all really good bets. In my opinion, he really wants to come out scoring this year. He said, I think it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember you posting that in the group chat there, and if he's contract year, if he wants to get the biggest contract he can, he had 64 in 2022, exactly. 2023. So, how many shots? He took 350 shots that year. The year after, 263, and last year only 196. I mean, he did miss. He missed some time. Average about 3 shots per game. But yeah, get that shot total up, David. Like everyone expects him to pass.
Yeah, so exactly.
When he shoots more, he'll be able to open that up as well. He's the favorite for the Hart Trophy, right? He's probably 2-1.
Oh yeah, he's 2-1.
2-1 for McDavid. Yes, that's not.
So it's just a different way of playing it, kind of a little bit. Same thing with Art Ross, just playing Rocket and his over totals. I think it's worthy for sure. If he's saying he wants to score, he's gonna. It's McDavid.
Yeah, Rocket at 22, I feel like would be the best bet for McDavid. Given just the general awards, maybe there's a goal milestone or point milestone that's better.
There's some 40s, some 50s.
That's pretty good. Yeah. You have any bets or just a regular over under, not like milestones or something you're big on?
Yes, I got Stutzla over 80.5. I think it's
over 80.5.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, 79 points last year, 90 points 3 years ago, as you mentioned. So yeah, he could get there.
It's tough to get some over under totals on some players because they just don't put it out there. So that's why I like to play a little bit.
Have you done any research into the goalie wins market? That was something that I looked at a lot.
Not really. Year. It seems like there's a lot of 25 win goalies out there. Actually, there was one that stood out to me. It was Montembeau. Sorry, an old host asked me, confused on his name, but he has 28.5.
28.5.
It's pretty high, and I'm just saying he had a pretty good year. But we haven't seen him do it a lot. I'm just saying that's
who is their backup though? Do they? I guess their backup's Dubas. Dubas is their backup. So, that could be a decent under 28.5. He had 31 last year, starting 60 games. I imagine they won't ride him quite as hard. Just going through some of the goalie wins here. Sam Ersson for the Flyers, 18.5. Feels a bit low, but he was pulled in his game last
Adam
night.
In the chat saying I'm anti-Habs bias. Yeah, that's because I'm a Bruins fan, buddy.
Yeah. He's a Bruins fan. I'm a Flyers fan. Joel's a Canucks and Avs fan. We're open about our fandom and our biases. We're not these shows. We're all right, we're coming in objective. We're putting things to the side. No, we have personalities. We're inputting them. We are completely transparent about that.
The one time I decided to be a Bruins fan is to show on the Habs.
Yeah. I'll do some more research on some of these goalie wins, I feel like, because I think last year there was some money to be made.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're almost 50 minutes here, Arch. Thanks for joining me. It's a fantastic show here. You have any other things you want to shout out, point out before we close it out?
No, I'm all set. Just kind of trudging along.
Yeah.
Hope the Dolphins keep losing. Makes me happy to see it.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have Joel back next week. Potentially we'll have a show Friday with me and potentially Arch or someone else, but we'll probably wait till next week and get locked and loaded next week. Let me count how many episodes we have left to do. So we'll have the Panthers, Canes, Oilers. That's one. Avalanche, Lightning, Kings. That's 2. Stars, Leafs, Knights. That's 3. So we have 3 or 4 team episodes left, and then we'll do our best bets for the season and whatnot. So make sure you guys subscribe to the Hockey One Podcast on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating and review, just like JestingArcher did on August 30th. The worst podcast ever, 5 stars. This is the worst podcast to listen to, especially if you don't like sharp sides, totals, and great breakdowns of future markets. Ryan and Joel do a great job all year long and work hard for you guys to get great insights and information into the space. See, it's simple. 5 stars. Give us some love, give us some hate, whatever. As long as it's a rating and 5 stars, we appreciate that. Also appreciate you checking us out on YouTube, subscribing there. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers during this season. We're at 767, so make sure you go smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, comment with some of your favorite bets for these teams and favorite player futures. And of course, follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at RGilbertSOP.
And I'm Sean, and I am JestingArcher, and I reside in the Discord. Oh, you need a 1-star review. That's fine.
Leave us a 1-star review. I'll fucking shit on you. That's fine.
Exactly.
See ya.